Yes, sir, baby, on the Radar Radio. Yo, special guest in the building. JR Writers in the building. Just
Yes,
bodied
sir.
that freestyle. Shout out Fred Money in the building.
Appreciate
too,
it.
my guy.
Yes, sir. Fred
He's in the
Money.
building. I see you bringing them everywhere with your freestyles too, right? You did Bootleg Cab also?
Yeah, 2 years ago. I did.
2 years ago.
Yeah, 2 years ago. In 2020, we bodied that. Check that out. But we supposed to be doing Bootleg Cab next week.
Fire.
Yeah.
Another one, part
Shouts
two?
to Bootleg Cab. Yeah, part two, you know.
Shout out Bootleg Cab. That's one of my favorite people on radio.
That's what we do, though. You know what I mean?
You wanna know why
cut
he's one
from
of
that
my-
cloth.
You wanna know why he's one of my favorite people on radio?
Why?
Because he beat the system.
What you mean?
Because he got let go from Real 92, right? Then he
yeah.
started the Bootleg Kev podcast.
Facts.
His shit got so hot that they was like, oh, yeah, and I think his shit syndicated on there, something like that.
That's dope. See,
But
I ain't
yeah.
know that. Shouts
Yeah.
to Bootleg Cab. I know he got the corner store brunch, too.
That too, yeah. Bootleg Kev is like, when I do like this shit, like I follow some of the stuff that he does, because I think I watched his No Jumper interview, and in his No Jumper interview, he kind of like gave the game on like how he got like go from the station during the pandemic, started this shit in back in, where's he from, Vegas? Nevada?
Yeah.
And he kind of used that to get his way back into radio, and also kind of like in a way like had that like one up on them. You know what I'm saying?
That's dope. I mean, matter of fact, I did an interview with him on his radio show and his podcast. That's crazy.
Right, like back. But you see what I'm saying, right?
92.3,
Yeah. So
DJ had.
so he got let go, but then he ended up coming. Now I think the podcast is now syndicated on iHeart. So
Fire.
he kind of came back and he got a
Whole
different type
new
of bag
deal.
now. Yeah.
Yeah, whole new deal.
Shout out Bootleg Kev, man.
Shouts to Bootleg
I never
Cab.
met him yet, but I'm hopefully one day.
Yeah, I'll link it.
How you been?
I've been good, man. Just working. Just left a session, you know.
Getting ready for this album.
Yeah, new album, still making history. By the time you see this, it'll be out. Or maybe a couple days after, who knows?
When are you trying? I'll plan this out to drop around the time of the project. if you tell me.
December 15th.
December 15th.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. So
December
probably be a
15th.
little bit after it comes out. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to line it up for you. I got you.
Copy. Appreciate you.
So
Yes,
December
sir.
15th, the new album.
Yeah,
Say the
yeah.
name again?
Still making history, SMH.
Still making history.
Yes, sir.
Why the double entendre there?
My first album was my first album. This is my sophomore, so my first album was called History in the Making.
Right.
So it was just a spin-off, you know what I mean? I've been putting out projects, I wouldn't even call them mixtapes, but they were my album. When I'm doing an album, it's more like a masterpiece. It's more like it has to all coincide and mesh well. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing a mixtape, it's like, you know, it's whatever. It's a mixture of different things.
Right. Because if we look at like your discography and all the other stuff you put out, like at the time, were you considering these like albums, or is it just now you look back at
Honestly-
them and you consider them mixtapes?
Honestly, I had
There's a
like
lot.
I had like 5 projects on Billboard, and my first album charted. You know what I mean? It was number 2 in the country.
Yeah.
But after that, I put out 4 mixtapes, and they all charted as well.
Right.
So I mean, to the labels, they don't want to hear that mixtape. That's a mixtape. That's a project. That's an album. You know what I'm saying? But you know, as far as the craft goes, it's a different approach I'm taking on the album. You know what I mean?
How are you approaching this album, then being your sophomore album? Because I feel like you're also, you
Showing
calling it your
levels,
sophomore
like-
album, it's like you're also putting it on a pedestal already too. And there's a lot of, you know, you're hyping up. So there's like, not saying that there's a lot of pressure, but
Yeah.
you're making it to the fans. They're like, okay, this is going to be completely different than before.
Yeah, I mean, it's totally different. If you listen to the first one came out 2006. Like, even my voice just sounds different.
Of course, obviously, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, my flow is levels, man. I feel like I rap better than 99% of people out here, period.
Right.
Maybe it's the Harlem in me, or maybe it's the facts.
I feel like everybody from Harlem, when they come here, they're like, we better than everybody. You know what I'm saying?
I was born in Harlem Hospital, so it's, you know, maybe it's in my blood, but, you know, I really feel like that. You know, I mean, everybody's supposed to feel like that, of course.
Right.
But fuck all that. I'm really that.
So why SMH though?
SMH, because it just so happened. My first album was called History in the Making, so I wanted to have a spin-off name to make it like a part 2 to it or
Right.
whatever. So I called it Still Making History, and the SMH part came in after I came up with the title. So it was like, oh, it made sense. The abbreviations was SMH. You know what I mean?
So the
And
SMH
because
wasn't
the
that-
SMH is like, God damn. Like, we just left the studio. You can ask any of my guys, like, Cavalli, am I lying? Nah, but you know, yeah. You know, if you're a fan, if you're a day one fan, then you know what it is with me. If you're a new fan, then you're about to find out.
Right. Because I wasn't sure if the SMH was like, well, one that, or it was like SMH like at the state of the music industry, or SMH, you know what I'm saying?
No,
'Cause there's
no,
a lot
no,
of
no,
ways
no,
that the SMH could, you know, from a looking in perspective, the SMH could be directed into a lot of ways, you know what I'm saying?
Of course. It could be more than one thing, but I wouldn't shake my head at the game, because I like a variety of different music, different type of rap. You know what I mean? You'd be surprised at different artists that I listen to, but you know what I mean? It's a more of a SMH, like, y'all in trouble.
This shit is fire.
Yeah, like y'all in trouble.
So who you got on the project? So we obviously the single with Kiss is out, right?
Yeah, shouts to Jadakiss. I got a record with him called Legends Only. That's crazy. And who else I got on? I got Dave East. Shouts to Dave East. The record we got together is retarded. You know, who else? 38 Special. Shouts to 38 Special.
Yes, shout out my
crazy.
guy. Yeah.
Shouts to Fred Money. Got Fred Money on there.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, top to bottom, it's 12 records and straight to the point. You know what I'm saying? It's back to back, nothing but fire, and just showing diversities, like showing levels. You know what I'm saying? Just, you know, yeah.
I think it's fire because, like, you know, you bring up Spesh, and what I think is so dope about what Spesh, you know, up in Rochester has kind of the culture that he's built, and then what Griselda's built in Buffalo. It kind of
shouts to Griselda.
It was kind of like a battery in the back of, like, you know, new artists who are rapping, who got bars, who got punchlines. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's why it's cool how their movement has not only influenced, like, you know, a whole new wave of younger artists, but also it's making everybody who's been around, and you know, someone like yourself is like, all right, cool.
There's a lane for it now.
There's a, like, you know what I'm saying? There's like a lot
they opening up, okay, this is what we doing, let's get to it. But I fuck with all of them, you know what I mean? You know, I shouts to Benny. I was fucking with Benny since day one.
Right.
Since 2017, like, you know, before he got signed, but shouts to him. You know, I definitely loves to see, you know what I mean, my guys. I know 38, but a lot of fans think he's a new artist, but
nah,
he's been around since, like, when he was running with Green Lantern. You know what I mean? That's when I first met him at Shea 45, probably like 07.
I was watching this really old, I think he posted it like right before he actually came to see me. It was like this real old cipher that I think him and Benny were doing in like in some random crib.
Yeah, they was like in a room. Benny the Butcher, I think Class Murder was in there.
I think Class was in there.
And they was all spitting fire. I ain't gonna hold you.
And I was like, damn, how old is that video? And someone told me that it was like, that shit was early 2010s type shit.
Yeah, years ago.
And I was like, and obviously like I caught on to Benny probably like 2018-ish, but like watching shit like that, I'm like, damn, like they really been fighting for this spot.
For a
you know
minute.
what I'm saying? Especially being from the north. I mean, you know how they're like, oh, if we're from upstate, you know, we gotta fight 10 times harder to get the recognition. But I think it's cool how it's there now too.
Exactly. No, that's a fact. Because I was hearing about Black Sopranos, I think back in 06, hearing their names just on the mixtape circuit. Yeah, I mean, I could have been somebody else. I don't know, but you know what I mean. I definitely heard that name for a minute, and I know he been doing his thing in 38 as well. So that's dope to see niggas rocking out now.
Right.
You know what I mean.
And then they bringing up a whole other, like, you know, I don't know if you're hip with some of the people that are underneath them, but like Shay Noir is fucks with Spesh. She's a dope female rapper out of I think she's out of Buff too. She's been on the show before. And then, you know,
the
Benny,
girl that was that be running with Griselda.
That's Armani Caesar.
Oh, okay, yeah, Armani Caesar.
She's with
she's fire too.
Yeah, she's with Benny. There's Rick Hyde. Who else? There's a lot. I've had a lot of them up here, but that whole movement's fire because, like you said, it shows that like there's a lane for that. And even if you've been to these shows, it's like, damn.
Yeah, but I mean that's what I represent. That's what I mean, like that's what I breathe and sleep. Like that's what I do, pushing my pen and really, you know what I mean, making the shit complex where it's not just watered down or just a regular basic flow. But you know, I feel like it's a time and place for all of that as far as like, you know, the dance records and shit like that. You know what I mean? Yeah. But that's why I'm a fan of all of that though.
I think that's an important thing that what you just said too, because you know I've been having these conversations a lot recently. Because now it's like we're in a weird point with, well, not a weird point, we're in a different point with hip hop, right? Where there's so many different things going on, like so many different like subgenres and shit like that. Like, you know, you have people like Lil Uzi who've been doing kind of like the punk rock stuff that came out in like 2016. Right. Obviously, you have like the classic hip hop, the classic sound, which is what we was just talking about. Or then you have like drill music, you have trap music. I'm trying to think of like some other subgenres, but off the top of my dome, that's what I'm thinking about, right? So you have all these different subgenres, but like there's nothing wrong, and dance music obviously, but there's nothing wrong with all these things existing at the same time. Because it all derive from one source.
But I just feel like when it came to the rap, it's not that I want everybody to be just rappers. That would be whack. It's like I mean, there was a time where it was like majority of that, but I feel like it died out for a little minute.
For sure.
And it's back now. For a few years, it's been back. But it was a time, it was like a little era, a little gap where it wasn't really nobody really, you know what I mean, rapping unless you was like the J. Cole's or dudes that was already out of
Kendrick,
it.
shit like that, yeah,
like
yeah.
not no new artists or whatever. So, yeah.
Yeah, I definitely been getting more like younger artists up here who've been like rapping, and that makes me really
That's
happy
dope.
because it's like having the balance, like especially on like a show, it's like having the balance of like people who do all these different subgenres and trying to be able to promote everybody. But like I have been seeing a lot more like younger artists, like they'll come up and I wouldn't even realize that they were that
Fabio
young.
could rap.
And
Fabio could rap.
Foreign Side Cypher out now. Go watch that shit. He bodied that shit too.
He did that God did beat crazy.
He
like
did,
that
yeah.
shit was fire. Like that's really proved to me like, oh, okay. He just doing, he got the drill, he got his own lane. You know what I mean? Plus he can rap.
Yeah.
That's fire. And he killed the Funk Flex freestyle too.
Yeah, there's a lot of like even a lot of the quote unquote drill rappers can rap, like Favi, you know what I'm saying? You think Favi, OMBJD, 26AR, 22Gs, like a lot of them can actually
22Gs could rap too.
I just had 22Gs up here last night too. Like a lot of these guys can actually rap. I mean, yeah, they're rapping over drill beats, but if you put them on other records, even if they're not as familiar with the type of beat choice, right? If you give them time, they could. I firmly believe that they can do other
come
shit.
up with some
you know what I'm
shit.
saying? Like Favi on God did, for example.
Yeah, that shit was fire. I ain't gonna hold you. That shit shocked me.
But I think it's just about trying to get like the kids out their lane. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta like push them because it's it's like it's the same thing with anybody. Like I'm comfortable doing this.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
I could
yeah.
also do this, but
plus drill is hot.
Yeah.
So it's like, why not? You know what I mean? Get the bag. But
Yeah.
I feel like it's room for all of that. It's lanes for all of that.
Right. I appreciate what you said at the beginning before we started rolling. You were like, oh, like a lot of the stuff that I put out on this show with some of the drill rappers made you.
Yeah. I didn't know
too.
who D-Thing was until I seen that freestyle. That made me a fan. I'm like, that's fire.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Hell yeah. You got the London freestyle. You got a few classics.
Thank you, man.
Dope.
That's weird to
Now you
say.
got us.
Yeah, now I got y'all.
Yeah.
Saying I got classics is weird because I'm not at that point yet where I'm
No,
like.
you got classics, bro. You got the plaque right here.
I know, but I haven't. But
10 milli.
But I'm at the point where I have yet to realize that that's happening. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, this the new wave right here.
Well, thank
It's
you, man.
definitely the new wave, and you know what I mean. Even if you were an artist that you did flex, you did this show, that show, you want to pull up over here because the crowd, the young crowd, the new ears is over here.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? That's exactly why I want to come here. I'm like, yo, he got the classics up there. The set look crazy.
Thank
you know what
you.
I'm saying? And you know, the crowd is just where you want to be. You get what I'm saying? So
yeah, I think what I'm trying to create here is just like a space for everybody to coexist. You know, we did a Spanish freestyle last night. We got a couple Spanish freestyles under our belt.
See?
We've been linking up with we had Oxlade here the other day. He's an Afrobeat artist. He's in like the top 10 Afrobeat songs in the world.
I think
right
you had
now.
gigs up here too.
We've had gigs up here, you know
Killed
what I'm
that too.
saying?
Yeah.
You know, the mayor, the mayor of London. But it's just about creating a place where everybody feels comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to be the biggest music platform in the world. You know what I'm saying? We here for.
Well, you on the way.
And you want to say
you're not there already.
Right.
Shit.
Because we talking about like longevity. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
Even you putting out an album, your sophomore album. Over a decade later, it's about longevity in the game. You know what I'm saying? And like sometimes those paths that we take, it's like they got bumps in the road, but you know, you've probably outlasted a lot of people who you came up with too. You know what I'm saying? That have been around you and shit like that. But that's also what's important is because even though you might have not taken the way that's like, you know, the traditional or whatever you want to say, your path has led you to this point where you've been around this long and you still have fans to this day. And that I think is beautiful in and of itself too.
Hell yeah. Shit, I've been doing it for a long time. You know what I'm saying? Since 2005 when I got down with Cam. So yeah, you know, it's definitely dope to see the love after all this time. You know what I mean? But it's I feel like you gotta be dedicated. Like you gotta really be trying to adapt and what's going on and not just, you know what I mean, keep the same formula. You know what I'm saying? And keep yourself looking healthy. Keep yourself looking young.
Right.
Stay over drugs. Stay out the way, and do what you do, and continue to feed your fans and collect more fans on the way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You said don't stick to the same formula, and I think that's a very important message that artists need to learn to understand. Because I think a lot of times artists is getting the rut of like, oh, I'm good at this. This is what I'm good at. This is what's getting me views. But like, you know, sometimes it's like that. It doesn't. Doing the same thing don't work forever.
Facts. Can't just be repetitive because, you know, people want to see, especially if you come across like you the best rapper, they want to see let's see if your last shit sound like the same shit you about to put out. You know what I'm saying? Let's see if you leveled up. Let's see if you learned or whatever. If you grown. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you know.
And that's what this project is for you.
Yes, 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 yes. Still making history. Crazy. Can't wait, man. Can't wait.
I wanted to ask because what have first of all, have you gotten to really meet any of the younger artists from Harlem? Because I asked that because I'm thinking about
From Harlem? Who?
like some of like the younger drill rappers. Because I'm thinking about because I was literally a couple of days ago just watching the No Jumper interview with like Jim and Joel's, and they were talking about some of the young guys. Have you gotten to meet any of the younger artists from Harlem yet or not?
Nah, but I stay in tune. You know, you talking about like from Sugar Hill, from
Like from
Joel's
Sugar Hill?
block.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll be watching. You know what I'm saying? But I haven't met no like new young drill artists or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I know a few artists that's. I don't know if you consider them young. I don't know. Nino, man, like he's young to
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
He's a new artist to me. You know what I'm saying? But I'll definitely love to meet some new artists, some new drill artists.
Right.
Shit. What's this dude's Fred? What's his dude name? On Point like Op.
OP.
Yeah,
on point like
OP.
OP.
Yeah,
On point like OP.
nah,
Shout
nah,
out my
nah.
guy.
You know, so I think me and him linked up. We gonna definitely link up. You know what I mean? He hit me on the gram and we was going back and forth or whatever. But
Right.
bro, I want to do whatever. Any type of beat, any type of genre. I want to
Yeah.
kill you on anything. You know what I'm saying? I want to always like show improve and show my growth. So whether it's drill or whatever, I'm just not doing certain shit. Like I'm not talking about dead people and all of
Right,
that.
yeah.
But you know what I mean? Besides that, like even what Ron Suno do, like he don't be back and forth with the dissing and all that, but it still be fire. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah,
I'm always down to work.
I was also just saying that in a sense of like mentorship too, because I feel like something that these kids really need in this game and they don't have
yeah.
yet is some. I mean, Duty Low, who is I forgot how he's related to Joel's, but like he has
For real?
Yeah, they're related somehow, I believe.
Duty Low is the dude that be with Dirk.
No. There's two. There is Duty
That's
Low
what
with
I'm
Dirk.
saying. You
There's
fucked
Duty
my head
Low
up.
with Dirk. I was like,
man, I said nah.
When I had like Duty Low from Sugar Hill, right?
Okay.
When he was here, I was like, bro, there's like an artist like in Chicago with your name who's like a lot bigger than you that people keep saying. If you say Duty Low, you go think of Duty Low from OTF before you. But regardless, I forgot how Duty's related to
Jewels. That's
Jewels,
dope.
but they're related in some extent. But like I feel like we need more stuff like that. You feel me? Because not even just like being related to them type of sense, but in the sense of like just having someone like yourself or like Joel's just kind of there to be kind of like a figurehead for them to look up to and to go to, because
Have that
I
support.
feel like a lot of them don't have that, and that's what ends up leading them down the wrong type of path. You know what I'm saying?
I seen Jewels snatch up a few of them from his block. So
Yeah.
that's dope. That's dope to see.
Yeah.
And I know his I know twin son, his nephew, you know what I mean, Lil Jew, I know he rap or whatever, so that's dope. You know what I mean? I'm definitely down like to work with any, especially these drill artists, cause I be behind closed doors listening to all the fire drill, but I'm not outside riding around because I don't know whose op is who.
Right.
You know what I'm
You
saying?
gotta ride
But
with the windows up on that
yeah,
one.
you gotta listen to this shit, in secret and private. You know what I'm saying? But nah, I'm down to work with anybody, especially the drill artists. Like that's the wave. They the young niggas. They the young,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, crowd. That's what's popping. That's what dictates, you know what I mean, the overall of what's popping. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So yeah. Hell yeah.
So SMH, December 15th.
Yes, sir.
What else you got coming up that the people gotta know about this year? That not the year's almost over. 2023, I mean.
Yeah. I got a few projects coming out, man. Afterwards, I'm just back, putting out my sophomore album, and then I'm gonna put out a joint mixtape with Fred, or you know what I mean. My next mixtape, I'm gonna keep heating up. You know what I'm saying? But the first and the next step is still making history. The album is crazy, top to bottom. You know what I mean? If you know who I am, then if you know my legacy and my track record when it comes to music, then you know, like, I'm not coming to play. You know what I'm saying? Especially with the music. I'm just trying to show growth and adapting. You know what I'm saying? Just like, it's not going to be what you expect. It's going to be unexpected. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm showing levels and I'm adapting, and I'm not just sticking to like, nah, I just want to just rap every record. You know what I mean? I'm just being diverse. I studied a lot of dope artists that weren't just spitters on every beat, that had, you know what I mean, Like they diversified when it comes to their catalog. So that's what I'm focused on. You know what I mean?
Word.
Yes, sir.
Well, it's been great having you here, my brother.
I appreciate you, man. I really just wanted to come here and kill it.
Much love.
One time so I could be a part of that classic catalog.
Oh, man, I look at the show like a library. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just going to be a library that hopefully...
I look at this shit like TV sometimes. I'm
TV?
sitting back,
like
rolling up, you know what I'm saying? And I'm smoking. So that's what I'm going to do when this drop.
We'll see who on the radar today.
Yes, sir.
Well, look, man, like I said, I appreciate you. SMH's album, December 15th. If it's out right now, make sure to go check that out. Before we get out of here, anything else you want to let the people know, let your fans know where they can follow you at, all that good stuff.
Yeah, follow me on Instagram. Which one? This one?
This camera right here.
Follow me on Instagram, JRWriter_ on every platform. You know what I mean? I don't be on TikTok, but you can follow me on there too, JR Writer. You know what I mean? Shouts to Fred Money. You can follow him too on Instagram, Fred Money. Appreciate you, my guy.
There you go. Make sure you go follow them. SMH out December 15th. Go stream that. Go show them some love.
You about to push my shit all the way back. June 17th.
Like, go show them some love. Go show them some support.
Yes,
love
sir.
is free. Support is free. SMH is not free, but you're going to stream it anyway. Freestyle out now. Shout out Fred Money in the building. Till next time, on the radar. We out. Boom. Let's go.
Cheer.